Hey everybody, habari zenu, como está? Guten Morgen, konnichiwa, ohoro wanyu. It is Kenyan Hippie. Welcome to another video. Simone Biles, really? This is the problem with modern day feminism. Modern day feminism has become so anti-women, it's not even funny. So let's get this straight. Riley Gaines, a female athlete, an amazing swimmer, stands up against having men in women's sports, and you say she's attacking them.
You know what this guy's legacy is going to be? It is going to be putting tampons in boys' bathrooms and letting boys dominate in girls' sports. This is Champlain Park's softball team after they won the Minnesota Girls State Softball Championship today 6-0. Which would be super cool if their team wasn't led by a boy who pitched 7 straight shutout innings. This boy pitched 5 consecutive games, 35 straight innings. Only 2 runs were allowed in that entire stretch. The Minnesota State High School League awarded this boy all tournament team honors, posted about it on social media, then very quickly turned their comments off. Wonder why? Can you pick out which one is the boy? Here's a clip of the final play in the state championship game. This breaks my heart because you will notice the girls on the team run over to the boy, they surround him, they hug him, they're cheering, they're clapping, they're applauding. Of course, they're excited, they just won a state championship. This was the first time their school ever even got an appearance at the state tournament. So you can imagine they were ecstatic to win the thing. I just wonder if any of those girls gave any thought at all to how the girls on the other teams that got defeated by Champlain Park, how they might feel. The girls who had to be in the batter's box with the over 6-foot man pitching from the mound. I actually went to Minnesota earlier this year, hosted a rally outside the Capitol, and then watched on the House floor as every single House Democrat and Senate Democrat in the state of Minnesota voted in opposition of protecting women and girls in sports.
There are real problems in girls and women's sports. Trans kids playing isn't one of them, so I urge a no vote.
Senator Latz votes no.
Yes.
The Secretary will close the roll. There being 31 ayes and 34 nays, the motion does not prevail, and the amendment, as amended, is not adopted.
By including a man on this softball team, the primary purpose of the state championship stopped being to figure out which school had the best women's softball team and became affirming the identity and the feelings of one boy.
What part of a man inside women's sports sounds okay to you? Do you not understand biology, or are you just too woke and you care more about validation and virtue signaling and pandering to stand up for your fellow female athletes? What part of a man changing in a woman's changing room sits okay with you? What happened to feminism? Right, I was here thinking that feminism was about fighting, right, protecting women's rights, right? But if a guy decides he wants to identify as a woman, then that's where that ends. I thought you all were against the patriarchy. I realized that feminism is such a joke. It is such a freaking joke. Simone, if a man competed against you and took your trophy, would you feel the same? Would you say it's equality? Female sports are not a backup plan for a failed male athlete. You would be comfortable with it. In the name of what? Inclusivity? This is why we are fighting against this woke mob. This is why we have fatigue. We have woke fatigue. I have feminism fatigue. Because I thought feminism was supposed to be pro-women. But the Democrats, and apparently the women, the feminists of today, are very pro-male. Only if he wears a dress though. Very anti-women. How dare you tell a biological woman fighting for women's rights and girls' rights to protect their sports from men and boys? How dare you tell her she's being hateful? I am very, very on board with the trans people having their own trans category in sports. So fair is fair, right? If you're a trans man, you want to compete with a trans woman, that's up to you. But don't you dare tell me it's a fair deal to have this thing mixed. And don't you dare gaslight us. You're such a kiss ass.
This past week was a dream for the women-hating Democratic Party. Boys stole girls' state titles, podium spots, or qualifying spots in California, Oregon, Washington, Minnesota, and Maine. That is 5 blue states just this past week. I'm heartbroken and truthfully in disbelief that this is still happening. The Democrats are doubling down on this issue. Actually, Democrats and mainstream media swear this isn't even happening, or that people like me are just trying to create a solution to a problem that doesn't really exist. Such a small percentage of girls are affected. There are only a handful of boys playing in girls' sports nationwide, or these boys don't actually possess a biological advantage over the girls. Do not believe their lies and do not fall for their gaslighting. And never ever tell me that the Democratic Party is the party of and for women again.
People like me and Riley Gaines, all the other unwoke people out there, common sense, moderate people out there, seeing this for what it is. When we speak out, we're called sellouts and pick-me's. And yet you're the one pandering to the woke mob by... Ironically, listen to me, I'm going to speak slowly. You are gaslighting a fellow female athlete because she is protecting women's sports from men. You want to play that back again in your head and tell me how that feels to you? Because this is not it. I used to root for you because, oh my God, first black gymnast and blah blah blah. I take all that back. You're just as bad as the woke celebrities pandering to everyone else. Sense has gone out the window. Now being accepted is better for you. So you do you. I'm gonna keep fighting against males in female spaces and men in women's sports because I'm all about equality. You're all about inclusivity. We are not the same. Do better.
Say this with me. Women don't belong in men's sports. Men don't belong in women's sports. Chopping your dick off doesn't make you a woman. Getting a dick sewed on doesn't make you a man. Chopping your boobs off doesn't make you a man. Men don't belong in women's bathrooms. Women don't belong in men's bathrooms. You wanna be a transformer all day? Be that. But you can never change your sex. Okay?
Kenyan Hippie out.